Logan Paul and his peers have been getting into a lot of controversy the past few weeks, and just the other day, Logan decided to dive headfirst into a beef with TommyInnit after Tommy called him out for a much less than ideal timing for an ad promo. This led Logan to give a really controversial response to Tommy, and the internet had a lot to say about it. It starts off with TommyInnit tweeting out, "Right, I'm done," and posted this picture of Logan Paul promoting Prime during the section that is titled Gaza Conflict. Midas replies, "Is that segment even about it, or is it just a Prime ad?" Luna says, "They talked about it for 3 minutes and then Logan interrupts him with a Prime ad." Baldy replies to TommyInnit by saying, "We will be banning Prime at school." Eviel says, "No drinking Prime in the halls." Why you should have a raccoon responds, "How do people still have respect for him?" Blaze says, "Ah yes, Gaza Conflict, sponsored by Prime." World Hall of Fun responds with this clip and says, "Bro didn't like the Prime, but he was forcing to drink it, Lamau."
Diverse new audience, new stars in the horizon, because they're going to be celebrated in different ways. We're going to see spikes in viewership on X, Y, and Z.
Angelica Reed responds, "His whole life purpose is just milking his fan base for all they got. We already knew dead bodies aren't off limits for him." Ben Nova responds to Angelica by saying, "I see you in every KSI post and Logan Paul post. I feel like you are the same as KSI. Just let it go, bro." Demilly responds to TommyInnit by saying, "Be careful before KSI writes 30 tweets about you." Kavos quote tweets TommyInnit and says, "Love seeing big creators show disdain towards Logan Paul, no matter what it's for. Dude is a piece of shit and deserves the hate he gets." Next quote tweets Tommy and says, "You know, for someone who is friends with Logan Paul, KSI, Dream, George, Wilbur, etc. at 16 years old, Tommy surprisingly didn't turn out to be a terrible person, and that's fucking crazy." Rosie quote tweets TommyInnit and says, "How is TommyInnit seemingly not a terrible person? Every influencer he took advice from at age 16 is fucking weird." Show replies, "Had to put seemingly in there just in case, you never know." And Rosie says, "Can't trust no one out here in the MCYT trenches." And RNKN replies saying, "It was the podcast," and attaches this clip.
All is well and good in the family?
Yeah, they're brilliant.
Any siblings?
No, got 2 dogs, so.
Oh, cool. You fuck them? Something about being a dog excites me.
No.
I feel like if I were able to slobber like a dog, that's cool.
This has gotten weird.
I think you'll come to disagree when you're older.
It's weird.
What's your favorite food?
Doom Nuggets replies, "Please tell me this is edited." And Rosie says, "It is." Sleepiest replies to Rosie's original post by saying, "I mean, he also has like a great mom. Like she loves everyone and doesn't give a fuck, but knows when to. And Tommy is low-key the same." And Rosie replies, "This, we love Miss Simmons here." Falter responds, "Deadass think his friendship with Tubbo, Filza, Techno, and to a lesser extent Schlatt has made him decent, Lamau." Mike quote tweets TommyInnit and says, "Recently, my entire Walmart got ravaged and cleared out for the hurricane. The new Glowberry Prime display was completely full." Rosanna Panzino quote tweets Tommy and says, "Literally nothing means more than money to these goblins. Is he actually promoting Prime right here? Is the next hashtag Prime and hashtag Feastables marketing plan to advertise at funerals?" Anya quote tweets Tommy and says, "Not a stan anymore, but Tommy's still my goat and I don't care what anyone says." Mia quote tweets Tommy and says, "Cope, Lunchly is awesome," and attaches this image. Thomas replies, 400 milligrams of electrolytes, and it's literally just sodium and nothing else. Kate Elsker posts on the R YouTube subreddit, "Respect TommyInnit for calling Logan out for this abomination." And Ordinary Education 431 responds, "So glad Tommy matured." Alon says, "He said that a big part of it was losing Technoblade, which sucks." Madred replies, "What did he do before that was immature? Not saying you're wrong, but I haven't been keeping up with him." And Finian responds, "He didn't do anything bad. He was just a young Minecraft YouTuber who fell into the loud equals funny category because he was overexcited and laughed quite obnoxiously at things. He's a decent guy overall and has done some pretty big collabs, which were kind of funny because the collab partner usually acted as the straight man in the comedy duo." Loose Shallot responds, "What am I looking at? Besides the blonde douche." And Sword says, "He's advertising Prime during the Gaza conflict section of his video." And Loose Shallot says, "Oh, considering he filmed a Japanese guy's carcass, this isn't remotely surprising." Logan Paul then replies to TommyInnit and says, "That offline glaze though," and attaches this image of their DMs with text messages from October 2023 that start off with TommyInnit saying, Destroy him, Logan. You have TommyInnit's full faith. And then an hour later he says, that was incredible. And Logan replies, thank you, boss. And TommyInnit hearts it. And then a week later on October 20th, 2023, TommyInnit says, hey Logan, hope you're well post-fight. It was fucking awesome to watch, man. I'm just wondering if you're around soon for a call. I'd really love to learn some more from you and ask you some good questions. And then 4 days later, he says, new video was fucking awesome. And Logan replies, hey, thank you, G. And then there is a little bit at the bottom that shows that they had it messaged again until March 2nd of 2024. Selma responds, KSI and Logan having a competition to see who looks the most pathetic. Funky Puppy says, bro, you're almost as old as my mom. Stop trying to fight every kid you see. And Fuji responds, bro's a fetus. Max replies, I'm crying. This is the worst response ever. Paro responds to Max and says, freshly 18 even. Malachi responds to Max and says, nah, bro, really thought he had him. Didn't even try to fake the dates. Tubbo responds to Logan Paul with this gif. Cresso says, you liked me a year ago isn't the own you think it is. The opposite, actually. Santa Decides responds, not the beef I expected today, but is definitely an interesting one on the timeline. Blenderfucker responds to Santa and says, we don't want you here, bro. Ali responds to Logan and says, what are you on about, man? Yeah, him texting you about your boxing match and asking for advice, which you ignored a year ago, really showed who he really is. Dickhead, man. Jack Manifold says, dude, these are from a year ago. What does this prove? Cassie responds, get him with a steel chair, Jack. Jack Manifold also quote tweets Logan Paul and says, sees kid expressing disdain for something important he's done, responds with private DMs from the kid showing he clearly admired him a year ago. Does this not make you look worse? Dog responds, no, seriously, like, how do you not feel shame when realizing, holy fuck, this person used to look up to me when trying to use it as some sort of dunk? Retrix says, that'd be way too logical. As long as it fits his narrative, it doesn't matter even if they were from 20 years ago. Tubbo also quote tweets Logan Paul and says, Logan Paul, please use the Lunchly money to hire a PR team. Please, Logan. Max responds, okay, Tubbo, with the online glaze. And Tubbo starts singing KSI's new song. From the screen to the ring. Anyway, MBQ Win responds to Tubbo by saying, careful, he might pull out something you said 4 years ago. Tom quote tweets Logan and says, doesn't this guy have an actual newborn to take care of? Or is he already embracing being a deadbeat like his dad? Who remembers? And attaches this picture of the kissing contest between Jake Paul's dad and him. Cassia says, Logan fighting people on Twitter. Meanwhile, he's probably ignoring his wife fighting postpartum depression. Rosina Panzino quote tweets Logan Paul and says, Logan is attempting a very common tactic that bullies use. They only respond to your praise, and then if you ever change your opinion about the bully, they dig up old conversations to say, see, you used to adore me, so you can never change your mind. People realizing they are just the Three Stooges of YouTube has them all in a spiral. Jackster replies, how old is that man? And Rosina Panzino says, Logan Paul is almost 30. Ricky replies, even the convos look bad for him. He only ever responded to Tommy when he was praising him and ignored a request to learn from him. How did he think this made him look good? What? Mills quote tweets Logan and says, offline glaze, and it's the most sparse text from a whole year ago. This is sad. Durser replies, even if the texts were from last week, what the fuck does it have to do with promoting your shitty drink while talking about a genocide? Anyo quote tweets Logan and says, wow, it looks like he genuinely looked up to you and valued your advice. Good thing he finally realized how much of a jackass you are, though. Dr. Awesome X posts on the YouTube drama subreddit, entitles it, Logan Paul tries to own TommyInnit by showing old private DMs from roughly a year ago, despite the criticism being aimed at a recent video where he inserted a Prime ad in the middle of discussing the Gaza conflict. To no one's surprise, Logan is a fucking idiot. But at this point, I think he's doing it because he knows I'll grab him attention, especially after making the birth of his kid into an ad for Prime as well. Neko Day responds, KSI is beefing with a Minecraft YouTuber and it gets him attention. Now Logan is trying to do the same. Ego Stack says, he spun a roulette wheel to pick which Minecraft YouTuber to beef with, then thanked his lucky stars it didn't land on Dream because the Dream stands would dox him immediately. Eats Pray Fug replies, breaking news, Logan Paul is a tone-deaf moron. Final Candy responds, in other news, the sky is blue, more at 11, which comes after 10. And that's what the internet said so far. See you next episode.